Welcome to On the Line, conversations about ensuring what matters most, presented by Mainline Benefits.
Sometimes the biggest opportunities in life come from the most random moments. You know, whether that's a late night Uber ride, that's a global pandemic, or it could just be a phone number saved in the cell phone from years back, right? So I'm here with Steve, who took a bet on yourself, right?
That's
to
right,
get
Arnie.
into the industry, and with John, with Physicians Mutual, which is our first carrier rep to join us on our podcast, On the Line. So welcome to On the Line, brought to you by Mainline Benefits.
Yeah, thanks for joining, John.
Yeah. So, Steve, I'd love to start with you. You just came to Mainline just, I don't know, it's been 6-9 months?
8
Almost
months
been
now.
8 months.
Yeah, June last year.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's been really good to get to know you over the last few months. And so you do have a pretty unusual story. And
Yeah, about how I landed here in this
yeah.
chair today.
Yeah.
It was a lot of random things that had to be pieced together, to get me here.
Yeah, so let's hear about them.
Oh, okay. Here's the whole story.
I want to hear the whole story.
Well, I'm from Toledo, Ohio. I started in the casino industry there right out of college. My boss at the time had a great opportunity, and I jumped on it, and we worked overseas for a period of time. Opened another brand new casino, all in casino surveillance. So
Got it.
We were the eye in the sky. We were the assistant to security who was on the floor, helping them, directing them, and then helping table games as well catch any cheaters. So I had.
I'm just curious. Is that cheaters from the consumer side or from the employee
both.
side? Oh, from both.
Yeah, so my first big catch within the casino industry was actually food and beverage servers stealing from the cash register. And how they would do it, though, is they would take beers out of the cooler. They would go sell them, but they wouldn't ring them up.
Got it. Okay.
So
Tell me that one more time.
Yeah. So my first big catch within the casino industry was in the food and beverage department.
Yeah.
The servers would take beers out of the cooler. They would only ring up 3 of the 6 that they pulled from the cooler,
Got it.
and they would go sell them all.
Got
So
it.
they're only reporting 3 sold beverages, and they're pocketing the
other-
profit.
Yeah,
the
got
others.
it. Got it. Okay, fair enough. And you said you went overseas to do this. So I'm sorry, this was in Toledo where
Yeah,
you
so
first started.
that was the first big catch in Toledo.
And that was in Toledo.
Yeah, we caught a couple other things as well. That was really interesting. But
Well, if it's interesting, let's hear it.
I
I know we're here to talk about
I could sit
insurance,
here
but I'm
for
very
days on
intrigued by this. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the first big catch by my first manager was a roulette scam. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with how roulette works. John,
Spin the wheel.
are you familiar with the chips that a roulette table has? They're different from any other chips on the casino.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yep.
No.
And they're different from each roulette table. And they have different symbols on them, and you have different colors. So when you buy in at that table, you're given
You're
a
literally
set color
for that table.
for that roulette table. Those chips are
No, I had
good
no idea.
nowhere else.
Got it.
So what would happen is there was a team of players that would come in, and let's say, Arnie, you're up to the table first, and you want to buy in, and you want to get the dark blue chip, and you're going to buy it for $1. You're playing $1 chips. You play a couple rounds, but your goal is to pocket those chips and put them,
In your pocket.
off table. Yeah, just
Got
put
it.
them in your pocket because you're going to take them to the bathroom where you're going to meet your buddy. You're going to hand all those dark blue chips to your buddy there, and then they're going to wait 10, 20 minutes. They're going to go back to that same table. They're going to buy in and request that same dark blue color chip, but I want to play $25 chips. Then they're going to reintroduce all those chips back to the
Oh,
table.
because they don't have numbers on the chips.
No, they don't have
Oh,
numbers. So
got
I'm going
it.
to reintroduce all those chips back to the table,
Ah.
and I'm going to play very little.
I like this.
And then I'm just going to say, dealer,
I'm going to Vegas in a few months.
cash me out.
Okay.
Yeah. Highly illegal, though.
Yeah.
Do not suggest it.
Okay.
But yeah, that was one of the first big catches by my starting manager. So that was really neat.
Got it. So you went overseas to do this, though.
Yeah, so I went overseas as well. So my boss at the time, he was big time in the casino industry. He used to work at the FBI in D.C. Had a lot of good experience from Atlantic City as well. So we went over to the island of Saipan. So how good's your geography?
That'd be near Japan.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's what I think,
It's
too.
out that way. You know where Guam sits?
I know it's a U.S. territory
It is
with
U.S. territory. 'cause
with
we
a
have
military base.
there.
Yes.
So Saipan is part of the Northern Mariana Islands. There's about 13 or 14 islands in total. And we lived and worked on Saipan. I was there for a year.
So is that actually literally part of the islands of Guam or just near that, you're saying?
It's near. So it's all part of the Northern Mariana chain of islands.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. But Saipan's the second largest island out there, and that's where we landed.
Okay, got it. And there was a casino on there.
It was being built.
Okay,
The year and a half I was there, we were working at a temporary facility at one end of a strip mall.
okay. Yeah, I got it. And so where else in the world have you been?
Well, after I parted ways from that casino because of some shady activities, money laundering, and
Money laundering on the side of the casino.
on the side of the owner.
Of the owner of the casino.
Yeah, it was some bigwig guy out of Asia
Okay.
somewhere.
So did you catch him with that?
It was all off property on his
Oh.
private yachts.
Mm,
Off property, no cameras, we can't catch anything.
got it.
So then
Okay.
who's going to report on their CEO
Yeah.
that's funding the whole project?
Yeah. So it just wasn't the right place for you to be.
Yeah, it wasn't the right place. It was a fun experience in life. Not everybody can say they lived and worked on a tropical island on the other side of the world.
True.
So it was neat to have that experience and carry that forward with me.
So what did you do on that island? Like, Lily, were you working the entire time because that's why they brought you there? Or did you actually, when you say nobody had that, could say they did, or people, not many people can say they've done that, right?
Mhm.
So what did you actually do there besides the casino?
Yeah, besides work, I mean, just lounge at the beach. I mean, I don't know if anybody's ever been to an island here, but there's a thing called island time. People have a very slow pace about their day-to-day life. They're never in a rush to do anything.
Okay.
So when you have free time, you're never in a rush
Yeah.
to do anything. It's just nonchalant, just doing whatever and going with the flow. There's a lot of beach time, a lot of barbecues. There was a few resorts on the island that we would go to regularly
Yeah.
because those were the fun bars to go to. To meet other travelers and other people from the casino that weren't working.
Got it. So where else?
Well, after there, traveled through Southeast Asia for 13 months. I took a year away from life.
Oh, you weren't working.
Wasn't
You just
working at
went
all.
and traveled.
Yeah, so the benefit of going to Saipan was they paid for my airfare to get there. They put me in company housing. The only thing they didn't pay for was food. But they would also transport us from company housing to the casino for work,
Uh-huh.
scheduled shifts.
Got it.
So I was just banking money.
Oh, nice.
So I had all this money saved
Yeah.
up, but I had my passport finally for the first time. And I learned how to use it, and I just started to use it.
And you just traveled.
Yep, I just traveled. I made Thailand home. It was a lot of fun. I loved the culture there. I loved the food. Every time my visa would expire, I would jump to a new country. Cambodia, Vietnam, Singapore. I went to Bali,
Wow.
and I'd renew my visa after traveling around for a couple of weeks, and then hop on back
Back to Thailand.
to Thailand.
Got it. And your best memory from overseas in Asia?
Best memory. Oh boy, I don't do well with these questions.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of good memories. It all kind of blurs together. Favorite place.
Favorite
I can tell
place?
you a favorite
Yep.
place. Probably Singapore
Okay.
and Gardens by the Bay.
That's a beach or is that a?
No, it's a man-made garden out of metal structures,
Oh,
and then you have, of course, foliage growing everywhere.
yeah. Okay.
And then
very
at
cool.
night, those metal structures would light up, and they would go to different themes. So the theme when I was there was Star Wars, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, got it. So I'd love to go back and hear a little bit. I want to get a little time in with John here. So John, again, being our first carrier, but also it was the first time you've actually ever been into our office at Mainline and
Yeah.
joined us for a Friday meeting. And just from the standpoint of, what do you think as an agency and who we are and how we operate? And
Super impressed.
okay,
Super impressed.
what does that mean?
That means you guys are doing things differently than maybe other larger agencies or FMOs with buy-in from your team who aren't just at each other's throats trying to get the leads. They're trying to help each other. And I think you're building something pretty special here.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. No, I'm really happy to. I mean, it was pretty cool when you stood up there and you were able to say that. So yeah, I'm proud of the fact that we did that, and we're doing it as a team. But it's good that just as somebody walking in and spending an hour with our team could actually see that so quickly.
Yeah, because I recognize the culture.
Yeah,
A lot of Physicians Mutual culture would be very reflective of what you folks are doing.
yeah, yeah. Because you guys, when
Mainline.
you were a company that basically sold only, it was internal sales team, right?
Right.
So everybody was on the same team as opposed to what you're exactly doing now.
Yeah, when I started, 10, 15 years ago, we were a captive carrier. So any agent working with us would only sell our products.
Got it.
And then when we looked at how do we grow, how do we increase distribution, we went into small hometown agencies. You got 4 or 5 agents. And from there, it just blossomed because we understood that the higher you get, there would be more agents to be able to promote us.
Yeah, got it. Okay, fair enough. And I know you do Medicare supplements, and then you do some ancillary products. We'll get a little bit into that for sure.
Absolutely.
So I mentioned how you are a carrier rep, and your first one we've had on a podcast. So again, thank you so much for joining us for today on this. And I know you drove in from
Des Moines, Iowa.
Des Moines, Iowa, into Chicago. So
Yeah.
thanks for joining us this morning, or this afternoon now, but this morning for our meeting. So a carrier rep, like what does that even mean? We've had a bunch
Sure.
of our agents on here, and so how would you describe your role and how you support us as an agency? And then again, at some point we'll get a little bit into your product, but
Right.
yeah, what do you actually do?
I'm an account manager. That's my title now. I report to regional sales director above me, and we have a team of about 5 guys. And we take care, we're the Great Plains West Division, meaning we go from Mississippi River west. So they allowed me to come across the border
Yeah,
to visit you because we had that relationship.
yeah,
Our account manager, our job is to hire new agencies and then teach, train, develop all the downlines as far as what we do and how our
Yep.
products work.
yeah. Yeah, and you're out today talking about your product, and you really do have a product that's very different than the typical part in the industry, and which again, I'd love to get into a little bit. So again, just for people listening and so how would you interact with Steve or?
As an account manager, I have probably 1,200, 1,300 agents that I'm responsible for throughout the country. But I make sure people like Steve understand as an agent, you can call me, you can text me,
Yeah.
you can email me anytime, and I will answer my phone.
Yeah,
Because I know that he's in a situation. He wouldn't be calling me if he wasn't.
yeah. He doesn't like you that much yet.
No, he doesn't
Okay.
like me that much.
Gotta earn that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no. So, well, that's actually how we got our relationship. You had called, and I don't know how much you remember this or not, but listen, we have enough product. We didn't need another Medicare supplement product. That was
Right.
my feeling on it.
Yeah.
I really do like to be good partners to who we're with. And, the one thing I would say, you have a product that's different, but the biggest reason we were willing to take you on, truthfully, is the fact that you will answer your phone. And it's not just some 9 to 5 kind of deal. If we need you in the middle of the night, you'd answer.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we would not have worked together. So I just acknowledge you for that. And go ahead, Steve.
But I don't know if you remember when I was first onboarded.
Yes.
This was a plan that had crossed my path in
Yes.
the past.
Yes.
And I asked you, is it possible to get it?
That's right.
So I'm happy it trended that way.
Yes.
It was already on your radar to
Yes.
think about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't even know which one exactly came first. You started calling me, but you're right. You actually are the one that
Yeah, it was right around the same time.
yes.
I don't know which one came
That's
first,
right.
but it just kind of
it just kind of lined up.
Kinda worked,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly right. So yeah, you owe being here to Steve.
right.
No, but that really was because you were like, hey, I really want this product. At your old company, you didn't have that.
didn't have it.
Yeah.
And we knew it was different from everything else.
Yeah. No, that's good. Thanks for reminding me of that. Appreciate it. Yeah. So, Steve, you were traveling through Southeast Asia, and now you're here. So,
Yeah.
connect those dots. How the heck did you find us and get
so
into the industry?
I landed back here in Columbus because both my brothers had relocated here for different reasons. And kind of a funny story there. My younger brother being in the Air National Guard, he was stationed on Guam when I was overseas.
Nice.
Right next to Saipan. So I got to jump over and say hi to him, so that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I landed here in Columbus. It was just easier to get back on my feet. I'd spent most of my savings traveling and taking that hiatus in life. And I worked at the casino here for a year.
Here is in Columbus.
Here as in Columbus.
Yes.
Yep.
We're in Chicago
Yep,
today.
we're in Chicago today.
Yes.
But in Columbus, worked at the casino there for a year. That's how I met my now significant other. She's been great, and she's been my rock and very supportive through everything.
Yeah. And her name is
Will Marie.
Will Marie. Yes.
She's absolutely amazing.
Yes.
And then
No, I want to say something about that before we go too far. So I did get a chance to visit with you in Columbus and get a chance to spend some time at your place and your house, your storefront. And yeah, there's just no question. There's a real true support system there. And it was, it was really cool spending the time together with you guys. You could see how you guys truly, truly support each other, which
it
is
was great having you out.
Yeah. So no, Will Marie's awesome. Lucky to have her.
Yeah, I can't say enough good things about her.
Yeah.
She would have loved to be here today, but
Yep.
timing with work and everything is hard to take off.
Yeah. So you met her.
So I met her at the casino.
So you were working there.
Yeah, so I was working there, and that's
Okay.
how we first
Were you
crossed
just
paths.
watching her on the cameras all day?
So that was the only casino property that
Okay.
I wasn't in surveillance.
Ah, got
Yeah,
it.
so I was actually working on the casino floor,
Okay.
and I was fixing the slot machines when they would break down.
Okay.
And she was working on the other side of slots where she was helping the guests.
Okay.
So just through casual contact, a relationship grew.
Did she just keep breaking the machine so you'd have to come work on the one she was working on? Or
It's funny you say that. because
really? I don't
she
even know
would.
this. I'm sorry. Go ahead. What?
She would.
Yeah.
Not intentionally,
Yeah.
but she would call over the radio to
Mm.
one of us slot technicians.
Got it.
And because we were working the same shift,
Hmm.
she knew that I would be on there and I would reply.
Got
I'd
it.
be like, I'm on my way.
Okay. Got it.
So that
That's
was
pretty
a
cool.
little playful while
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
at work.
Yeah. Nice.
So it was neat.
And she's still in the casino industry.
She is.
She is. Okay. Got it. And so where's the switch from casino? There's a big difference. I mean, I guess, sometimes it's funny. People call it, I guess you can call it a gamble if you don't have the right insurance products, right?
Mhm.
Or if you don't get them taken care of correctly. But besides that, there's not a whole lot of between a casino and the insurance. So how did you get
Yeah, I
it?
mean, they're almost complete opposites.
Yeah.
But while I was working at the casino there in Columbus, I did some Uber and Lyft on the side just to put some extra money in my pocket.
Okay.
And that's kind of how this all began. So one night, 3 o'clock in the morning, I picked up an agent. I
Okay.
didn't know it, I didn't
Yeah.
know it until the end of the ride. But we start talking as I'm driving him home to his apartment. And he's like, Steve, tell me about yourself. Why do you like to drive Uber?
Mhm.
Well, I just like to drive. I like to help people. I like to earn money.
Mm.
So it's a win-win all the way around. So he asked me a question he's like, so Steve, if I told you there was $400 in a mailbox down in Lancaster, Ohio, which is about 40 minutes outside of Columbus, and all you had to do was go spend about an hour and a half talking to someone, collect that money, and go home, would you do it? Well, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Okay.
that's the easiest setup in the world,
Yeah.
right? And that's how he introduced what he does to me.
I've never heard it described that
Yeah,
way.
but because he asked the questions first about why I liked Uber, and he related what he did to what I was doing and why I liked it.
Hmm.
So it
Yeah.
really hit home for me. So when we arrived at his apartment, out of probably just sheer politeness, I took his name and his phone number,
Mhm.
and I put it in a note on my phone.
Hmm.
A few months later, I accepted a brand new job in New York City to be
Okay.
a casino surveillance floor manager. I moved out there November 2019. 3 months later, COVID hits.
Got it.
So all the casinos shut down. I leave New York because I just had this intuition, like, I don't want to stay here. This is going to be our epicenter, and it's going to be the worst. So I broke the lease on my apartment. I came back to Columbus, made it official with Will Marie at that time. And I was scrolling through my phone, sitting on the couch one day, thinking, what's next for me?
Mm.
And I come across that agent's name. I give him a call, go through training, and here I am.
Oh, nice. And it was about 5 years ago.
Yeah, so 2020.
2020.
May 2020 is when I got started.
Got it. So then you have a storefront.
Mhm.
So, but you started with COVID. So did most of what you did was on the phone?
Yeah, so I think like a lot of agents when they get started, we're very heavy on leads,
Okay.
making those cold calls and trying to break through and say, hey, I'm different.
Yeah.
I know that can be hard to believe, Mr. or Mrs. Client,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm local right here in Ohio, and I want to meet with you in person.
Oh, so you did do in person
Yeah,
right away.
even right after lockdown, it
Mhm.
was, I would probably say at that time, 75% in person.
Uh-huh.
And I would drive to their home.
Got it.
Being in Columbus, the one benefit there is you're so centrally located. Everything's within about a 2-hour reach.
Okay, got it. So but again, you have a storefront now.
Mhm.
So do people mostly come in and visit you, or you visit them, or how do you do that now?
For that, I would say I'm about 80-20. So about 80% come to the office.
Okay.
And then there's a smaller 20% that I may still go to,
Okay.
depending on what the case might be.
Okay. Fair enough.
So looking back, there was a lot of steps, a lot of things that I had to go through. COVID and breaking lease and moving to New York and moving back to Columbus. A lot of tough things.
Yeah.
It was really mentally draining and just unsure of what that future might be. But I'm really happy that looking back that I made it here and that I'm with Mainline now.
Hmm. sometimes the things that are kind of the hardest and kind of dark times could actually turn into something a lot better. Because I'm assuming you like your life you're living right now and
Oh,
being
yeah.
in. Okay, yeah, got it. And again, that was a pretty cool story about the whole Uber thing. And I know the company you were with, you were looking for a change overall, though, right?
I was. I wasn't quite happy with the dynamic and the culture. I know we throw that word around a lot, but it's so crucial, to building a successful agency and
Yeah.
then, being happy with where you're at and what you're doing.
Yeah. And so I know you came to visit us in Chicago just to see if this is even a place you'd like. And again, I say Chicago just because it's one of our hubs, but we do have people all over the country. We're in 50 states, right?
Mhm.
But you did come and visit us in Chicago, and you want to take it from
Yeah,
there?
so I needed to get scope you out a little bit. I needed to get a feel
Yeah.
for the place.
Yeah.
And I'd heard your name in industry
Mhm.
before, through other agents, but I didn't know you on a personal level.
Yeah.
So I needed to take that time to get to understand, how you were going to design and build this agency.
Mm-hmm.
And then, from there, you came out to Columbus to say hi, to
Yeah.
see the storefront and visit me
Yes.
at home. Is that a typical process you go through when looking at new agents and bringing them on?
Yeah. So just bringing them on, no, because we can't do all that, right? But we do, I did do all the interviewing just until a few months ago, and we brought on a really great person that's in charge of our recruiting, Michelle Yale. I'll put her out there. Actually, a spouse of somebody that one of our leaders here in the office. And no, so we do have a very extensive interview process. Typically in our industry, listen, they're looking for bodies. We have a set of core values to start with that if someone's doesn't buy into our core values, there's just we don't want to lose our culture,
Mhm.
right? So they have to buy into that. And buy-in isn't even the right word because they have to believe in them, period. If we have to get them to
It has
buy
to
in,
resonate with them.
yeah, it has to resonate.
For me, it really resonated with me because growing up as a kid, I was a Boy Scout. I earned that high rank of Eagle Scout, and the Boy Scout oath. One of the first three things is a scout is trustworthy, loyal, and helpful.
Mm.
I mean, those three things are what's here in this culture,
Yeah.
and that really resonated with me and how I choose to live my life and how I engage and help people.
Yeah. No, nice. I'm real happy you're able to see that. Just like John, same thing. Kind of, you had an opportunity just in an hour to see how we operate, and I think you saw that for yourself too, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So no, going out and visiting somebody, especially, listen, if you're down the street, yeah, but going to Columbus and taking the ride down there, that would not have been quote typical. But you were coming on, you had a good amount of production. We saw you as a future leader with our company, and I wanted to see what your support system looked like. I knew you had a storefront. I wanted to take a look at that. So yeah, I think I spent a couple days out there, and yeah, no, it was good to get to know who you are, and yeah, so no, I care about that because the one thing that keeps me up at night more than anything with running the company here on the sales side of it is how do we keep that culture? So I've been working with a lot of guys in the Chicago area for 15, 20 years together. We've built a really nice culture. And as we continue to grow throughout the country, how do we keep that same culture going?
Mm-hmm.
And it concerns me. How do we keep it going? And so I do take trips and make sure we got it going, and we don't want to have these pockets of people that, they do it one way here and one way there. We had some problems with that with the old company, and I didn't want to see that happen again. I want us to all be truly rowing in the same direction. So yeah, and once I saw Will Marie and how you guys operate and saw how you guys, the support, it was easy to look. Yeah, he's definitely in the track to become one of our future leaders. Yes. So that was a story on that side of it. So, but what would you say is the biggest thing here being with Mainline right now? Of all the things, and this is really your first time truly being in a team meeting today too for yourself, even though you've been around 8 months. You joined us by Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
But tell me how, because that's, again, there's only so many people in the Chicago area that can come into the office on a regular basis. The difference between joining us by Zoom and joining us on a Friday meeting.
I mean, for me, it's energy. I feed off other people's energy to keep me motivated. Being in Columbus right now, I'm all alone. That's one small downside as we continue to grow the agency. So coming out here and getting to bump elbows with a lot of people and see their processes and what they're doing on a day-to-day basis, it fuels my energy. and I'm going to take that back with me to keep helping more people.
Yeah. And we just got to keep growing Columbus,
Yeah,
right?
that's the goal.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, and one of the thing that's pretty cool, which again I'm going to say is, from mentioned it, John, just the idea of everyone's kind of out for themselves typically, is that you got to not only sit down with our number one agent, but truthfully, I mean, he's one of the top in the entire industry, period. And tell me how that experience was. And that's Greg. I gave a shout to Greg. So that's Greg Teipel. So, and at our old company, it was 3,000 agents for 5 years in a row. He was number one. So he's really, really, really good at what he does. And how big of a deal, how easy was it? How hard was it to go spend a day with him?
It was super easy. I mean, at first I thought it was going to be a little intimidating. He's the top guy. Like, why is he going to make time for, an average Joe like me?
Yeah.
But he's the complete opposite. He's very open. He's very welcoming. He wants people to be there because then it also motivates him. It's helping him, reaffirm products and strategies so that he can keep doing things the right way. And then we get to learn from that as well.
Yeah.
And all that great experience.
Yeah. Very cool.
So do you have like a mentorship program, or you try to connect the younger agents with the more experienced agents?
No, that's good, John. Yeah. So that's good. Actually, so the way we're set up, we have what's called sales leaders or sales trainers. So we have, I think, 9, 10 teams right now. And so they do get a mentorship with those people, again, including if someone's brand new to the industry. It works out real nice for us, no bad habits. And the answer is yes, but you're not on Greg's team.
I'm not.
You're not, but you're on the mainline team, right? So the gentleman you're working with, Ryan Keltz-Groen, and out of that old company, it was 3,000 agents. He was number 2 in the country. And so that worked out well with you working with him, but you're not on Greg's team. But how much, did you feel like Greg cared more or less than working with Ryan?
I wouldn't say it was any more or less. It was just a different perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no one way.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say here, to do this business and do it the right way.
Yeah.
People have different perspectives or different strategies. And it's just seeing what resonates with you as a person or with me as an agent.
Yeah.
And what I can take away from that and sprinkle into how I approach people.
And last night you were out with one of our other leaders, Andy Choi, right? And so did it? Yeah. How did you say about him?
He's a great guy. He's a character in some sense.
Yeah.
But he's great to talk to. He's good to have conversations with. He has a lot of great experience in this industry. It's just a blessing to bump elbows with him as well.
And again, same thing. You're not on his team.
Nope.
Right? But would you say that, how hard do you think it would be for you to pick up the phone and give him a call?
After yesterday, not hard at all.
Yeah.
Because now I have that established relationship.
Yes.
And we're not just names on a sheet to each other anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. So John, going back to your question, it's just, so we do have this teams, but that we're all truly like, it's funny because, again, I'm not doing the interviewing anymore, but it's like, it's hard to get people to get it because you don't see that. Or we have a new agent that comes on board and we tell them we want to talk to that new agent multiple times a day. And then, they're struggling with something and like, well, why the heck didn't you call us? Oh, I didn't want to bother you. It takes so much to get them to get that we want to be there. We want to help them. And it's not what you typically see out there. Forget about the insurance industry, but just in the industry and just life. Yeah. People don't necessarily willing to help each other like that. But so again, whatever team they're on, there's no lines. There's no like this hierarchy. You got to call your sales leader. Because truthfully, you might relate to somebody else different than and it just, there's none of that. Again, we're truly, and I don't know how to, I haven't found the right words to really get someone to really get it without joining us for a Friday and actually sing it for yourself. And I'd say you saw that today.
Well, I think, like you're saying there, Arnie, people, when they become agents, or they come from usually a different line of work.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're really going to help me? Nobody's done that for me in the past.
Yes.
How does that all look? I mean, how am I going to make this? I don't believe you.
Yes.
But when you...
I mean, it doesn't seem believable.
Right. And when you deliver time after time, eventually they go, they actually do want to help me.
Yeah.
That opens up all kinds of doors.
Yes.
And I think him talking to the offensive coordinator instead of the defense coordinator helps because you're learning a different perspective.
Yeah.
You're hearing a different voice,
Mhm.
and a different day will always have a different result.
Yes. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, so John, the reason that Steve actually came up to join us today, once you said you wanted to come, we've been working together, I think, for maybe we just brought you on.
6-9 months.
Yeah, 6 to 9 months, right?
Yeah.
And it's your first visit with us. So I think we had you on one of our Tuesday Zoom meetings, maybe. I believe you
Yeah.
did for a rollout,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, for a roll.
Yeah. So so thanks again for driving up and joining us. But you had mentioned Steve is actually doing really nice with your product and you wanted to meet him.
Yeah.
So I'm glad this all truly worked out for you guys to both come up to Chicago at the same time. And I know we've talked about this a little bit. Just if you can give me just like, and yes, you do work with a lot of agencies, a lot of other brokers. If you could just give us some, if you put it into a sentence or two, like what did you really see today? What did you see in Steve? What did you see in the office?
Yeah, I work with all kinds of agencies, FMOs down to hometown agencies,
Yeah.
2 agents in there. So you can see the difference between different agencies on how they're working with their agents and creating that energy. And knowing what Steve has done from a production standpoint with us, I'm like, okay, now how do I convince the other agents
Yeah.
that this is a good thing?
Yep.
And how do we make that work? And it's
Yeah.
building relationships. It's all about the relationships. I have some FMOs, I don't even know who the players are
Mm-hmm.
because I'm just out
Yeah.
of the loop. So, but if I can build those relationships
Yep.
and enhance those,
Yep.
things will work out
Yeah.
tremendously for both of us.
Yeah. No, it's good. And that's why we had a few people come in, right? You guys had breakfast and stuff together. Which
Oh, that was
nice,
great.
right?
That,
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
that little Michelin
Yeah.
Star
Yeah.
Cafe down the street.
Yeah, we got this really nice little cafe that the guy did work. The chef worked as a Michelin star chef, and now he opened up his own place.
Yeah, it was-
Good food, right?
absolutely.
Very
Yeah,
good.
Sunrise Grill. We'll give a shout out to them. Sunrise Grill. I guess it would be in Des Plaines, right next door
Yep.
to where we're at here. Yeah. So one thing that's pretty cool is I know I mentioned Michelin star. Do you guys know how that came about?
I don't.
Yeah. So it was actually part of the Michelin Tire Company, and they were looking for people to drive, so that people drove on their tires, went out, and they would along Route 66, which runs right through Chicago,
Yep.
and they would have people. They would have these restaurants for people to go visit with these pamphlets, and that's how the whole thing started. But it's a big deal earning one of those stars. Yeah, so but you've been in with Physicians Mutual 15 years.
Yes.
And I really do want to get to the product that's different because I want to, it is a big deal that there's some difference there. But how did you actually get into the business yourself, John?
Way back in the day, I used to be in the newspaper business. Okay, I was the editor.
You know what a newspaper is,
Yeah.
Steve?
Yes, I'm very familiar
Okay,
with newspaper.
Everybody just has it on their phone these days. But back in the day,
Yeah.
I was a sports editor. Then I was a managing editor, and I worked my way up. I was a publisher.
Mm.
And I thought, well, I'll just go own my own publication. Never buy a small weekly newspaper in the middle of nowhere.
Was that in Des Moines, Iowa?
No, it was in central Iowa.
Okay.
Little town called State Center, Rose capital of Iowa.
Ah.
And I was there 13 years. Worked 80 hours a week. Didn't see my family enough, so I thought, better get out when the going's good. So I sold it. And
Oh, you actually did open up your own deal.
I bought a newspaper.
You bought it? Okay, got
business
it.
From,
Yeah.
it had been around for 120 years.
Uh-huh.
And it just kind of went through some ownership changes. I had it 13, sold it off. And my wife and I moved to Des Moines, the big town.
The big city.
You know. And from there, I knew I could sell. Because if you could sell advertising, you could sell just virtually anything. So I thought, well, let's try insurance. Of course, you got to go through the licensing. You got to get equipped with everything. But I loved it.
So
And I
you were
was
actually,
working in the
you're
senior
not just a
market.
carrier, you actually were out selling insurance for a while.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of products were you doing?
Senior products.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a little bit heavier on the life insurance side at the time, but because I knew that there was a need. And if I could go and have a conversation with somebody, go through the whole thing, I could sell it. So eventually, we were at a smaller agent meeting with our office manager at the time. He's like, I'm looking for an assistant. And I must have scratched my nose or something. He thought I raised my hand. He goes, you're it. So I'm like, well, let's see how management goes. And I never looked back. Yeah, we've made some changes over the time that I've been there. But at the end
So you actually started with Physicians. You were actually a
Yeah.
rep with them.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So your
So
whole
proud of
career's been with them.
Yeah. So I like that aspect because as a manager, I'm glad I was in the field.
Yeah.
I know what it's like to walk in those
Yes.
shoes.
That's good.
I know what it's like to come home and go, crap, I didn't sell that today. I'm not eating tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that uncertainty. Should I stay in this? Should I go?
Yeah.
We need insurance agents. We need younger guys like you for sure, because older guys like me will like to retire and buy our own
Yep.
healthcare products
Yeah.
and walk off into the sunset. But there's not enough agents right now to service the number of people aging.
That are aging out.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. So that's one thing I would say I want to get back to it, but I do want to, as a company, as Mainline, what you just said, every single person that's in any type of leadership with us is still in the field, actually making sales and doing that. So yeah, I think that's probably one of the big things is that nobody's out there just trying to teach something what we're doing. They're actually doing it, just like you got to
because
see
it's
that.
important for the leadership to know how
Yes.
the industry continues to change
Yes.
year over year,
Yes.
whether it's regulations or products. That way that they can continue to hand down that
Yes.
good experience and information to
Yeah.
their agents.
Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of disruption in the market,
Yes.
especially when it comes to Medicare,
Yes.
between Medicare Advantage plans and how supplements work. So it's all very confusing to a
Yes.
senior.
Yep.
So a good manager will be on the street understanding.
Yeah. So one thing, so we do work with ACA or Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act, and you do sell under 65 also?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. And Medicare.
Correct.
Okay. So on the Medicare side, there's a lot. Most agents that sell on the Medicare side at least do what's called a Medicare supplement, right? And as a company, we won't allow an agent to come on and only do Medicare supplements.
Oh.
And the reason sometimes people only do a Medicare supplement, they don't have to go through all the, how much training do you have to do every year to sell the other side of it, which is called a Medicare Advantage?
And every single carrier is going to require it. It's
Yes.
hours and hours and hours.
Yes. Every year you have to do the same thing, right? To be able to do a Medicare Advantage plan. And a Med Sup, how often do you have to do an annual training for that?
You don't.
You don't, right? So we as a company, we're truly there, right, to be able to help them with either one of those. It's not always so great to just be on original Medicare. It's Medicare supplement or an Advantage plan. We make sure our agents can do both. So they truly aren't just selling what they can sell. They're allowing them to sell what is truly right for that consumer. But I would like you to talk a little bit about what you do. But you want to explain maybe a little difference with the two, or why you sometimes do one over the other? And then,
Well, it's just great to have.
and I'm going to give you one more too, is that when you do decide to go to a Medicare supplement, why do you use John's product, Physicians Mutual?
Yeah, I just want to start by saying that it's just great to have both options on the table.
Yeah.
You sit down with someone, you want to clearly explain, both avenues to them. That way they can decide, okay, based on my needs, I think this is going to be the better path for me, or, the other option.
And do you care which one they go with, or do you push one over the other? Or
I try to remain as unbiased as possible.
Yeah.
Because that's just how Medicare is set up. But when it comes to certain individuals who are having a tougher time, I try to plant some seeds. Depending on your health, if you were in this type of situation or in that type of situation,
Got
maybe
it.
this plan may be stronger because of those specific needs.
okay, got it. Yeah, got it. And what about like on the under 65? Quite often, everybody's on the same plan, right? But now you got a husband and wife, or maybe the guy became 65. He gets on this one plan. The wife a year later, well, I want the same plan as my husband. How do you deal with that, or how often does that come up, or what happens with that?
When someone's aging into Medicare,
Yeah.
like one spouse before another.
Yeah, well, it's more that a lot of times they want to be on the same plan, and on Medicare it doesn't always work that way,
Yeah,
right?
So Medicare is all on an individual basis.
Okay,
Now, when it comes to certain plans, you can, as spouses, both choose to be on the same one, but it may not be best for both their individual needs.
yeah, why not? Because again, what I'm saying is that I know they can be, but a lot of times they just say, no, my husband's on this, I want this. Or my wife's on this, I want this.
Mm-hmm.
Like what, when they tell you that, what do you kind of do about that? What do you say about that?
I mean, I'll explain, the pros and cons, if it is a good fit to their situation.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, it's their call. So if that's what they truly want, then I'll, after explaining it to them, then I'll help them with that enrollment.
Okay, got it. And then when you go down the route of a Medicare supplement,
Mm-hmm.
why have you been using John's product, this Physicians Mutual?
The Plan G, Plan G overall is the most comprehensive Medicare supplement on the market. It's also the most well-known. So when a lot of people come and they've already done a little bit of research about Medicare, they've heard the Plan G before, and they know that that's what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe my spouse already has it, and that's what I want. Or my friend or sibling, they're already on Medicare. It's what I want as well.
Okay.
But if they're healthy enough, we can look at the Innovative G, where they take on that little bit of extra risk up front, but now they're going to be paying lower than everybody else they know that's on that same plan.
You want to give a little bit more insight into
sure.
that? That makes it, because I think
Yeah.
this isn't just every company out there that, well, I'm assuming maybe it's off just slightly, but a Med Sup G is a Med Sup G is a Med Sup G, right?
Yep.
But you guys have a product that I believe is exclusive only to Physicians Mutual.
Exactly. Yeah, so you're right. It's standardized.
Where's my wife to hear that I was right?
Eh?
Is she around somewhere? Go ahead.
But the government standardized all those plans.
Mhm.
And an F is an F, a G is a G, and an N is an N across all carriers. Okay. But there's parts of that law that says if a company wants to add innovative products, we have to talk to the state insurance commissioner's office, each state, to get that approved.
Okay.
So back in 2008, we came out with what we called our Innovative Plan F. And now that F is kind of semi-retired, we were able to do the Innovative G. And that's because the government has the standardized Plan G, and they also have a high deductible Plan G. The high deductible Plan G has a max out of pocket. The government calls it a deductible, but it's a max out of pocket of $2,950 in 2026. CMS sets that threshold each year
Okay.
on what that's going to be. But under that high deductible plan, which is always the least expensive option, the client who owns that is responsible for all deductibles, Part A and Part B, and the 20%, because Medicare is still going to pay 80, they're going to pay the other 20 until they hit that max out of pocket. If they do, plan kicks in and pays 100% the rest of the year.
Got it.
If they never hit it, plan doesn't kick in, but they had that knowledge that if something serious happens, I won't spend more than $3,000 out of my pocket.
Okay.
Catastrophe
Yep.
kind of situation. So the Innovative is a hybrid between those two plans, meaning in the first 2+ years of owning it, the client will have the equivalent of that high deductible plan.
Okay.
But after that deductible period is over, it will convert all on its own to a standard Plan G for the rest of that client's life. But they're still paying the Innovative rate,
Which is less.
which is less than the standard rate. So just for conversation, imagine a regular Plan G at $150 a month, a high deductible at $50, but the Innovative would be about $100.
Okay. So it's right in the middle there.
Right.
Approximately. That's probably based on age and based on state and based on,
And gender.
right? And gender too.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
So once that deductible period is over, the plan switches itself over to a standard Plan G. They only have the Part B deductible to worry about the rest of their life, but they're saving 25 to 45% in their premiums their entire life. We think
So even
that's
as
good.
rate increases come up, that one increases less than the regular G.
Yeah,
Is
because
that-
they're going to compound differently.
Got it. Got it.
So that's a good alternative for people that are fairly healthy in their 60s, not so worried about today. They're more worried about what happens when the wheels fall off in my 70s. This keeps pace with that to help them in that journey, because people don't want the lowest rated plan out there. They know better. The lowest today will probably be the highest tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So this is appropriate for people, and they're used to deductibles at work. What's an average
Oh.
ACA plan?
Yeah. I mean, you could be looking at
$7,000 to $9,000.
Yeah.
For the first time ever, it's gone over even 10,000 out of pocket now for the year.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
So-
another big benefit that I like about Physicians Mutual, I've worked with a couple other mutual companies. I like their culture from an insurance standpoint, but their local customer service. That's something that I'll mention to people as well. A lot of these seniors, they don't want to be calling a customer service line and they're talking to someone overseas. They want to be talking to someone stateside that they can understand. And that's what we have with Physicians Mutual.
Nice. So I wouldn't even known that. So that's awesome. So that was going to actually be my question. The biggest reason you even wanted physicians, but then now that we do have them, why you're using them? So that one is customer service.
That's a big reason.
Yeah.
But just because it can have that lower rate, but secure that long-term Plan G benefit for the client.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah. So as we're wrapping up, Steve, I know again you do see most people in person, and you want to give a shout out where your office is located. I know it's in Columbus.
Yeah, so I'm in the Hilliard suburb of Columbus, so over on the west side.
Okay.
Right on Hilliard Rome Road. It's kind of the backbone of Hilliard there. Yeah, I've been there for a little over 2.5 years now. So this October will be 3 years.
Okay, got it. I know you got park benches or bus benches.
Park benches right on the corner there.
Yeah, with your
I've
name
had
and number on
billboards
them.
in the past, but trying to just drive some local traffic straight to my office.
All right, very good. Yeah, so John, thanks again, first of all, for joining us today and being our first carrier and on the line. Again, brought to you by Mainline. And thanks for taking a visit up. And again, if I wasn't hearing good things about you from Steve and from some of the other agents, honestly, you wouldn't have been welcome in the office. I'm pretty serious about that, though. I don't care to just have a carrier come in. They really, truly have to be providing a service to our team because we want these guys out there truly taking care of their consumers, their clients. And if we don't have that support on the backside, we can't do our part.
Sure.
Right.
Always
So
appreciate it. Thank
So no, I do appreciate the way you take care of these guys, and thank you. And thanks for the relationship you guys have already built on that.
Yeah, thank you, John. You've been a good resource to me as an
Yeah.
agent, and I look forward to it in the future.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And so, Steve, as we're wrapping up, what would you, if you were like, what kind of clients you looking for, or who you're looking for, if you want to give a shout out and let some people know about Columbus and remind us again where you're at in Columbus with your storefront?
Hilliard, Ohio, on the west side of Columbus there. A lot of the clients that I'm working with today are early retirees or those aging into Medicare.
Okay.
With a lot of the volatility that's been going on in the market, many people who are on Medicare are just confused by a lot of these changes, why their plans are changing so much, and they just want to sit down and review it.
Okay, very good. And you're okay if someone just gave you a call and just asked you a question, even if they're
100%.
not, right?
Yeah.
You're open to someone that's maybe even 6 months or a year out?
You're not signing a contract to work with me.
Yeah.
Hopefully you come back and use me as a resource, but if you have questions, call. That's why I'm here. It's why I'm in business. I take a lot of pride in what I do and making sure that you're getting the right information and not getting the wrong information from a bad telemarketer or trying to sort through it all yourself online.
Yeah, very good. Well, thanks for making it up to Chicago, and thanks for being a big
Thanks
part
for
of our
having me.
team for these last few months. I appreciate it.